map here of Nepal. And hey, we'll see who can carry the banner in their group after this. This will decide who will be first in the group. Let's get her started, as it will be Sombra Goats versus Winston Goats. And we'll be Flag Gaming with the Winston Goats.
Yeah, and this is going to be the fact that you're running, you know, the Winston full variation of it is actually very interesting for Flag. This is expectation coming to fruition. I think we know that we're going to do this. We're going to see a lot of standard play in this match here in this set today. So Lingon going to try and Heurix trying to get his best to get a hack off. Doesn't really get all the way through, and now they can't really follow up on that ability. Both these teams just poking at each other, waiting for the team, one of the teams to make the first mistake.
But Flag Gaming have some nice control of pillar side, and especially with the dive, they can go into the backline of Lingon once they actually do get towards the point. Oh, a boop! That's big! And now Lingon or LGE are down by 1. The first cap will go to Flag Gaming, and they'll clean things up. Yeah,
Fengmian absolutely a hero in this fight. Oh no, please! Okay, that's not a good play. Yaoshi actually gets caught out there and goes down. And they're going to have to reset here. This buys time for Lingon to walk in. Heurix going to have the respawn, so they do have a little bit of space, but ultimately, interesting here is Lingon actually doesn't run the Zarya. They're running the Sombra instead. So you don't have that, you know, crowd control. You're setting up the expectation for an early fight EMP, and with Heurix this close to it, kind of look for an early play from LGE.
Oh, you gotta be worried about Reddit Lucio's like this. You just can't approach the bridge that way. An EMP drops from Heurix. LGE taking advantage. They push back Flag Gaming, who actually had used the Transcendence through that, but it wasn't enough healing to actually sustain them, so the flip will go through for LGE.
Yeah, this is it's a really good read. I mean, it comes down to the fact that you don't get the support out in time to protect your team, and then you just come in with a cleanup. Lingon LGE gonna be very happy with that. They don't have to use too much. Shocheng just saying hello to Piggy, the two players waving at each other. There's a little mental play in between here. It's fun to see.
Yeah.
But Flag now trying for that high ground reset, and Shocheng very close to that Graviton Surge. Could be a difference maker here.
It's also a big difference to defend. Oh, okay. And also get back on the map, but also to defend with a Sombra. As you can see now, all the actions happening onto the point. Self-destruct from Yaoshi, clearing the way, or at least clearing the space, forcing LGE into positions they don't want to be in. Barrier trap from Flag Gaming. Heurix keeps getting bopped off these maps. Self-destruct at the back. It is blocked. Now LGE are grabbed there from Shocheng, and Heurix is still making my heart jump.
I feel like he enjoys that little the thrill of almost falling off the map to reset, but slowly this looks like it looked like it was going to Flag Gaming, but Flag, they lose the potential here off the Primal Rage, and JMac doing a fantastic job of holding them inside this tiny area.
Actual farm, having Yaoshi against the wall, everyone just farming their ultimates. But the LGE hold on to the point. Flag Gaming, I mean, they used a lot to even win the fight, and they couldn't.
Ooh, wow, Heurix playing a really aggressive game there. There's no scouting going on here. Curious play, does get out, just gets a little bit of energy, you know, almost 50% to that EMP, and Lingon now in last fight territory. Flag, their win condition is really beat and rally. They don't have a whole lot to work with here, as Heurix coming in that back line looking for that final blow on the Zed.
Control for LGE. This is the last fight for Flag Gaming to take
Good
over.
Hack.
They're starting. Oh, great hack to take out Fengmian, and he had barrier as well. So a lot of sustain gone with 2 healers down for Flag Gaming. But Yaoshi has a self-destruct. One last celebration. Can he clear the point? Everyone scatters for LGE. They have a self-destruct. They're close to EMP. This is how they're going to win this. Self-destruct from Piggy over the top. Is it big? It gets 1 and forces them off the point. That's a first round there for LGE.
This is a match that we kind of, it's going the way we kind of predicted, right? Flag definitely playing as a strong team. We're seeing standard composition. We're seeing teams that understand the theory behind Overwatch, right? This is a team that understands strategy, that understands rotations, that understands win conditions. The difference is LG, I think, is just mechanically better here, and that is kind of what's showing up in our match so far. So I like the fact that we're seeing from Flag very standard play, because it's what they need in the remainder of the season. The expectation that they're going to make, you know, LGE lose here, I think, is probably premature, but it is certainly a play that that is going to be one we're looking for. The Melons now over to the Reinhardts. They're going over to the Sombra Goats. Meanwhile, Lingon continue to run basically the same thing, except now they're bringing in the Zarya player as well. So mirror compositions from both these teams as we head here onto Shrine.
Yeah, realizing that Heurix is such a actual pain in the butt. They have to counter this with their own Sombra. They give up the Diva, not as much pressure on the Zarya's, looking for the hacks. Melons is hacked, and that's a big opportunity for LGE to get him out of the picture, at least zone him off temporarily. Taking control of the point is a big advantage. The first cap will mean so much for either team.
EvilX is actually one of the original Sombra players in this region, so for Heurix to come in and say this is my turf is really, really cocky and aggressive, and I'm here for it as he comes in through that backline, finding a lot of farm up now. Lingon has the advantage in terms of positioning, but it's slowly starting to flip back to Flag as they walk forward.
I can't believe how wounded Flag Gaming are. There is Pilly with the Transcendence, but they get grabbed. They're from Piggy on the other side. There's Pilly and Piggy actually on both teams. That's not going to be confusing. But still, the cap is in favor of LGE, and they have an EMP if things get a little hairy. Bumping of the heads of the Reinhardts, but LGE will hold on.
One of the really interesting things about EvilX that we kind of haven't had to highlight yet is how quickly he builds EMP. He's actually one of the, like I said, one of the better Sombras in the region. He was known for it last season and continues to provide a performance on it here. That's the only thing is, though, is his team is kind of collapsing under the sheer pressure that JMac is providing on Melons, and now they have to walk into this EMP from Heurix. This could be problematic as the translocator set up. They're going to get all six.
There it is. It's big, gets every single one. Pilly instantly dies. There wasn't any support ultimates anyway, and nothing that Flag Gaming could do. So this is a quick L, and this will favor them, and Sho Chang is going to get his energy reset, which I don't imagine he had any to begin with. So.
It's unfortunate, but Flag Gaming, that's Lingon is happy with that. It's a one ultimate win, and you need those to build your percentage, you know, your ultimate economy here. Heurix gets scouted out, so he's forced to recall, does get out with his life. And now Flag, they have to somehow set up EvilX here, another high ground contest. And, you know, they could walk out. There's no Graviton Surge here to stop them. So Flag should control this next fight.
Well, the Lucio of LGE needs to stay out of line of sight from this EMP. Absolutely, there it is. Great barrier on top of that, and I think they even got some a rally out, but they're still staying alive, and actually, I take that back. There's Harrier and Rien are out, and that's after barrier and rally were used. But at least to Flag Gaming, they will take the point, but at 94%, they have to play perfectly from here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I fully agree. But there's another example of how good EvilX is at Sombra. Sets the translocator in perfectly, catches out everyone that's trying to hide behind the pillars, and that's a fight win. Again, he's sitting behind the composite, the map there, scouting out, seeing who he can find and sort of tell them how they're engaging. But now, Lingon is going to have the Graviton Surge. So the question is, can they clean up through it, or will the Transcendence be enough from Piley to stop out all the damage that Lingon is going to have to apply to this Graviton?
It's going to be a chaotic fight. There's each grabs online. Heurix close to his. Oh, and the
another
from
one ult win.
is stunned. Wow, that is big for Flag Gaming.
Another one ult win, and that's exactly what you need, right? The Graviton comes in before Molly has the Transcendence available, and, you know, there's no support ultimate, so what do? You just win out. So very, very smart play by Lingon there. It also buys time for it also buys time to get, you know, EvilX up to the EMP here, 75%. He's going to have it for likely this next fight if Flag can survive the Graviton Surge, and with Heurix having this EMP, this is probably the combo that LGE is going to go for.
Oh, EMP Shatter, absolutely. LGE, they did throw out the grab first. Okay, they throw the Shatter on top of it just to make sure, but Pilly comes out of nowhere with the Transcendence. Still couldn't save his team, and he threw the EMP from EvilX on top of that. You can tell how much Flag Gaming want to hold on to this. They cannot give up this fight. There's a responding EMP from Heurix. It is so back and forth between these two teams. Who knows who's going to be taking it? It seems Flag Gaming only have one little Lucio alive. LGE, take it back. Are they coming back?
Nah, this is it. They don't have enough bodies on the point to actually win this one out. And ultimate economy for Lingon is better here. You see JMac with the Earth Shatter knock everyone off the point. Flag Gaming going to lose here on Nepal, but I think most importantly, most impressively, it was competitive, which is what we were expecting from this match. And I think so far we've got a good showing early on, at least.
We got a good analyst coming back. Panda, this was, I think, pretty close. What did you think of LGE there?
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 definitely doesn't do justice when you just look at that. You have to actually go look at control percentages here, all the way up leading to it. I just got to give Matt props, too. I mean, like, EvilX, too. LaFon set up the territory, kind of turf war in a way, because Heurix coming up out of nowhere as, like, this up-and-coming, like, now, if not the region's best Sombra against the previous known region's best Sombra, and that's just off of this season's performance alone. So now we get to see that matchup unfold. And I think it comes down to the rest of the team of why it made it so competitive too. I always talk about Flag Gaming's main tank Melons as a very passive main tank, a very reactive main tank, and that's how the entire composition ends up falling around. I mean, go figure, that's just the patch of 1.32. It's just like a super Reinhardt composition. You basically do or die by your main tank, even when they're on Winston, like on Sanctum. Being able to follow up and find that first opening engagement was really clutch, and that's where Melons looked best. But then you got to see the composure come through. You got to see just the overall experience coming through. I mean, J-Mac coming through from the Contenders region in Korea has a lot of experience facing off against this matchup in particular. And once you understand that, all it takes is Lanza saving the amp it out ability, playing the disengage, waiting for Flag Gaming, and forcing them to make the engagement where they don't have resources, and then they get followed up on, they get collapsed, the amp comes out. We see Lanza lapping the entire team as far as ult charge is concerned, just how much value this Lucio is finding because of the engage and disengage coming from LGE.Huya. It's just very composed and veteran Overwatch.
And we said this was going to be the match to watch. Both these teams undefeated. One of them will no longer be after this match. We're going to Blizzard World next. We'll see you guys after this break. LGE strike first blood on Nepal. They're up 1-0 over Flag Gaming. And now we're going into Blizzard World. It's a fun times, roller coasters and stuff, and a lot of blood shed.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got it.
If there's anything you don't want at a theme park, it is definitely people fighting.
Death of people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I feel like
too.
it would be a very, very easy way to get the theme park shut down, you know?
Yeah, I'd have some complaints. I'd have a choice of words, but...
Can I talk to your manager, please? There
You
seems
got the
to be
haircut
blood
for
sport
it,
going
so.
on, yeah.
So, and this was a match we said was going to be close. Both these teams, I think I've said about 1,000 times, are undefeated. You guys were more leaning towards LGE since you said Flag Gaming. You know, they lost a map to a bottom of the standings team. So, I
was wondering if you were going to finish that word.
You can have an off day.
Yeah, true. Anyway, Highly sitting up on the high ground here as Heurix comes in. The Sombra versus Sombra. Again, we're going to see EvilX on the Sombra from
nice.
Flag Gaming. Good. The hack gets blocked out there. Very well done.
Melons is alive.
Yeah.
Somehow. He was actually 1 HP. LGE now taking advantage. They're going on to the point, trying to get their first take. They've basically won this. I mean, Flag Gaming can maybe stall this out a little bit more, but this was a very aggressive push from LGE.
Yeah, with the pick-off of Feng Yan, they also just control the pace, right? They have the speed from Lensa, and they get to control the engage and disengage potential. So Flag Gaming going to take an L there on the first point, but interestingly, EvilX has, I think, gotten the better advantage of the Sombra versus Sombra battle. It's just that Heurix has had more advantage to farm with the EMP on the tanks. So it's I think EvilX has been the better Sombra in this matchup. It's just that his team has been kind of less efficient at engaging, and that has bought him less space to work with. So already Heurix has the EMP and is going to be able to use it well before an ultimate comes online for Flag Gaming.
I think you're right. I mean, your Sombra has no value unless your team actually engages on your hacks, and you can engage on these EMPs. And speaking of which, it will be Heurix dropping it first. And speaking of dropping, all of Flag Gaming out.
Yeah. The EMP is the first ultimate available in the game, so you just use it first, you win a fight, and this means that Lingon has now won a fight in a neutral fight and then used a one ultimate fight. So they are very, very much ahead in the ultimate economy, as EvilX is struggling to get to that 100%. He's going to have it here for this fight, but Molly's sitting in good position to try and avoid it.
It's got a good high ground position until they just, you know.
Look how spread out they're playing. There's no one here for EvilX to really hack.
Well, EvilX is looking for the EMP. He spots 3, and he'll take that, especially on the Reinhardt, farming off of J-Mac, who's still not dead, but they did take out Molly, who had Transcendence. Biggie goes for the counter grab to see if he can ward off Flag Gaming, but now they're engaging with Transcendence and actually letting LGE leave.
That's a really good play by EvilX, man. You saw how spread apart, you know, Lingon was playing, and EvilX comes in, gets a good hack off, and he actually manages to find Molly in it all. So that is the win condition you needed, and you take out the grab from LGE as well. I really cannot say more good things about EvilX here so far.
See if we can see more good things about LGE. Still looking for this attack point B. What a shatter, does get one down. Molly is there with the Transcendence, and Lingon taking this fight in their hands, charging through, and that'll be point B for them.
Yeah, that was questionable decision making from Flag Gaming. Melons and Shocheng use both their ultimates at the same time, so the Transcendence nullifies both. And you never want your Shatter and your Graviton Surge to be countered by one ultimate, right? The Transcendence from Molly gaining excessive value off the back of curious play from the tank line from Flag. And now here is difficult territory because you're walking into a Graviton Surge and an EMP from LGE, and Flag, you just don't have the resources to work against it.
Here's the EMP on Flag Gaming. No support ultimates to help, and this is just clean Sombra play from both teams. Whenever they do have EMP, it seems to be the fight over. You can see Flag Gaming giving up all the space. They do actually save Shochang's energy until Piggy goes for the grab, and okay, you'll take that.
That's a really smart play, actually, because you know that Piley's not actually going to switch to you're not going to use the Transcendence in that Graviton. Even if he wasn't hacked, that's just not a situation you want to trans, because you need it for last fight. So you may as well get the cleanup kills. You may as well force, you know, Shochang to have no energy and walk into his last fight. That's a really smart Graviton from Linga.
Gotta watch out for the stun of the Brig. Another EMP drops this time for the defense of Flag Gaming. They'll have a Transcendence. They're still close to the grab. LGE, this is not a fight that favors them a ton, but if they can get these ultimates out of Flag Gaming, they might have a fight chance coming up.
Good hold from Flag off the back of the both support ultimates though, so they don't have really anything to counter either Graviton Surge or EMP, which are both coming online. Shochang needs to be really aggressive with his Graviton Surge, otherwise this could be problematic.
Well, problematic is the trend here. Trying to spot that, trying to spot the Sombra from the back, and there's the grab from Shochang. Catches everyone from LGE, but it's a good barrier to keep them up. Goes for a shatter hero play. I think it got the Zarya down, but this is cleanup crew from LGE. They even had leftover ultimates and an EMP, so they will get the job done. 3 minutes and 4 or 5 they have.
And we're going to go to the map switch over with you know, LGE very much in the control of this map, and Flag looking a little bit worse for wear.
I don't think there's much more to say. I know you were applauding EvilX, but I think Haker's also a big star for LGE. I felt like they were following it. I think you said it right too, that LGE are following more with Haker's EMPs, but both teams have been very clean with it. But I think LGE are going a little bit more for hero plays, such as grabbing Shochang to get rid of his energy, maybe solo shattering someone into the backline. They know what's important to take out in a fight.
Yeah, that's the case indeed.
And
I think what's most important.
Hey, Panda. Yeah, I was wondering if you were coming. I wasn't sure if you wanted after the map.
I'm just trying to think how to attack that. Much how Flag Gaming were trying to attack out of spawn there in desperation and using both support ultimates. Not setting themselves up for success. Knowing that another EMP, Shatter, and Graviton were coming through. It's funny enough. There was actually 2 cycles of Graviton Surge there in that final fight for LGE.Huya. In case you didn't. No, this is basically what was all set up, right? With the Sombra v Sombra battle, it's just, like you said, Lemon, Haker's finding a lot more success and a lot more value in these hacks. But most importantly, what it's doing here is that it's setting up their Zarya. More importantly, that it's setting up Piggy to always find these high damage right clicks and just getting a lot of Graviton Surge charge. You're seeing the cycling coming through almost clear as day, and it's setting up the rest of the team for success Soul Charge.
Thanks, Panda. Now we're going into our next round of attack. Flag Gaming now this time. Sombra Goat, sure. The Roadhog kind of worried me, but Shochang back on the Zarya.
Yeah, I think that was just this, because EvilX was on Pharah initially too, and then switched back to the Sombra. So clearly Flag just having a little bit of fun mid-round. As LGE set up again, this high ground defense, very aggressive. Haker has been farming up. Yeah, well, I mean, you got to engage when they walk back to the choke, but good peel back here from Flag so far.
Yeah, and he also dropped down with bubbles, so Flag Gaming didn't want to be too aggressive with that. They let him have the space. Now LGE on the point.
Ooh, good look from Piley. Finds out Haker, forces him to translocate before he can find really any farm.
Flag Gaming looking to step on. They did get their Lucio hacked, so there's not a speed disengage there. So LGE taking advantage. They're going forward. They take out the Brig, and a bit of a reset.
Yeah, no, that's a full reset here. EvilX, oh, unlucky. Haker comes in with the kill, so the Sombra on Sombra action a little bit more, and here now EvilX has had less advantage, because on defense Sombra gets the benefit because they have the superior engage potential, right? You don't have to play around your team, whereas on offense it's so much harder to get into the backline. So Haker being very, you know, a little bit more willing to chase after charge for this EMP is already up to that 75% mark.
You gotta watch where J-Mac is gonna drop. He has Shatter, and he's gonna be playing Ring Around the Rosie, and Melons is low. There's the grab actually first from Piggy, but thankfully the Transcendence from Pilly is gonna keep them awake. Flag Gaming are going to advance now.
LGE is both Sombras down though, so now no EMP available here. This could be a good old fight. 5 versus 5 as the Shatter comes out. Looks like it was blocked though, Lemon.
It seems so, and Transcendence has come out kind of in panic in the rally from Yaoshi, and this is so chaotic. It's down to 2 minutes. Flag Gaming still have to get this. Thankfully, they take care of the Lucio of LGE. You don't have speed, a little bit less healing as Haker drops the EMP. EvilX about to respond with his own, and very chaotic.
Shocheng here is actually going to cost him this fight. He is playing for... This is, you know, I know he's not actually doing this, but he's playing for stats, and it shows in the way he plays super passively. He's not in the fight with his Reinhardt. Melons goes down. They don't have the damage needed, and instead, Piggy is a hero with his team. Zarya is the damage dealer in the 3-3, and even when you run the Sombra Goat, still the damage dealer. So the fact that your Zarya playing super passively means you're just not going to get full value. Shocheng a little too casual with his engage timing, and Flag Gaming are going to lose a lot of time because of it.
LG still on the high ground, looking for the moment to drop, and they're going to have grab shatters. So Flag Gaming need to pull the trigger first with this EMP. They have the support ultimates to outlast them. As long as they catch the Lucio from LGE, they should be in a good position. There's the EMP there from EvilX, but there, the barrier from LGE, perfect timing as Flag Gaming match it with the Transcendence. So LGE, what a shatter. Holy cow, J-Mac gets everyone down, and Melons does the same thing. It is so chaotic between these two teams, but finally when the smoke clears, it will be Flag Gaming that take the point.
Yeah, that's disastrous for Flag, because they're forced to use every single ultimate, and now they don't have a support ultimate here for this retake with LGE's Graviton Surge, right? Flag has to somehow win up this fight with just the rally. Otherwise, they set themselves back even further with a time bank, somewhere where they're already disadvantaged. Remember, they below a minute on the first point in that take. So now, only 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock here as the cart moves forward.
Moving forward, there's the grab from Piggy. Would like to have more energy, but the job is still done when you have a super aggressive Reinhardt of J-Mac right in their face. And they have the payload exactly where they want. Are they going to hold this high ground, or are they going to hold the archway instead?
Well, it looks like they're playing for that. Please,
okay, my
please.
eyes.
Ow, my
Thank
eyes.
you. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Feng Mian here playing the backline here on Flag. They're going to try and out-rotate Lingon, but, you know, instead, Lingon just sort of lets them exist and kind of falls off this high ground. 2 Jet that recontest. EMP available for EvilX. Same is nearly true for Haker as they set up here. This is going to have to be a really aggressive EMP. Oh, very good. Very well open.
Right over the top. It is good. Very good EMP. That's an applaud. That's where we're going to applaud how that went. And that's a cleanup crew. It seems to be easy. As soon as one of these Sombras has EMP, it's just the death of the other team. What I'd like to see is these supports trying to hide a little bit more, trying to, if they can, cast their support ultimate before the EMP comes out, although that's pretty difficult. But that would actually give an advantage to their team once they get an EMP.
Yeah, for sure. Though the thing though is Lingon bought a lot of time off the clock, right? They started off with 2 3/4 minutes, but now well below the minute half mark, and Lingon still controls the fight. Again, they have the EMP. Again, they have the Earth Shatter, and Flag are walking into double ultimates. Yeah, there it is. The EMP comes out, but Transcendence in time as well.
Thank you, Pilly. Thank you. Someone is going to support ult during the EMP, so therefore they do survive. Now it'll be up to a tale of 2 shatters between Melons and J-Mac. This will really open up point B for either team, and especially in the last minute of the game, LGE could potentially hold this here and put themselves up 2-0 in the series. Shatter comes down. It does catch at least the Lucio. You'll take that kill along with the rest of the team of Flag Gaming that drop.
That there is a tale of 2 shatters. Instead of setting it up, Melons just kind of shatters the shield, whereas for LGE, Lensa comes in with the sound wave, with the right click, the boop as it is, knocks up Melons in the air, and J-Mac has a free shatter on the back line of Flag Gaming. So as you mentioned, that is the difference maker here, and now Flag are in the last fight, and they're walking into this next one with basically just the Graviton Surge Sound Barrier combo. They don't have the damage to clean up here.
Oh. That's a very aggressive grab, but no one can do anything. You have less than 14 seconds, and Flag Gaming need to touch, but they're missing Shocheng. This is not a good look. Haker's just gonna put more pain, salt in the wound, if you will. Seconds left. No one from Flag Gaming can probably touch. That'll be 2-0 for LGE as the overtime wick burns away. This is getting a little bit more one-sided than we spoke about.
I mean, the expectation is that Flag is going to play a very cohesive, coherent style, and it feels like everyone on Flag except EvilX missed that memo, because EvilX has looked good. I think he has. He's played the Sombra to as best of play as he can, but he's sort of dependent on his team as well, right? His EMPs, when he uses them, often hits 5 or 6 players. His efficiency is very, very high. But I feel right now it's coming down to the fact that Melons is just losing out in this pressure battle, and JMac is taking him to town as a result. The Reinhardt has been very much in control in that matchup, has been very much in control by JMac. So LGE very much in the driver's seat halfway through this series.
It's kind of nice, right? I mean, like, if you get taken anywhere, though, LaFon, like, as a Reinhardt battle, wouldn't you love to go to Blizzard World? You know,
Sure.
Like, I guess if there's 2 Reinhardts in the planet, like, they would actually really enjoy Blizzard World. I don't know about you guys, but I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, EvilX is not fighting as much value because of the passive nature of Melons, because he's not winning out in these Reinhardt duels, and he's not able to find value in aggression is where EvilX can't find value. A good Sombra player will always find success and a lot more follow-up from EMPs, which is what you're finding from LGE. That even out of sight of the EMP, they're more or less just combining vanilla abilities. Take a look at some of the highlights here. I mean, surely the usage of 4 ultimates, much like on their defense, you're going to get control of the team fight eventually. But then this was the fight immediately afterwards at LGE. They just roll back in with their ultimate economy, and then they're able to take control. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Vanilla abilities, LaFon, you highlighted on the cast, the sound wave came through, was so clutch, and that's just where LGE are being more explosive. That's why these fights are being more decisive in their favor, because it's not just ultimate economy, it's raw resource usage.
Yeah. I mean, that's something if you watch a ton of high-profile Lucios, high-tier Lucios, you'll see that they're trying always to make plays like that. Set the Reinhardt up for a good boop, and then come in with the Earthshatter afterwards. So watch any high-profile Lucio. They will always try to do stuff like that. So to see Lensa try and come in and to successfully complete it, it's really good sign for LGE.
Yeah.
And another thing you gotta watch is map 3. LGE are up 2-0 after the half, and we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Contenders China. LGE are up 2-0. We'll see if Flag Gaming can stay alive in the series. We're going to Horizon Lunar Colony. And hey, I'm thinking some more Sombra. Hey, but you never know, LaFon, what kind of fun stuff can come out on the defense.
I mean, Horizon Lunar Colony. You know, if you say that 14 times fast, I guarantee you just stop speaking English. It actually just becomes nonsense. So
I think you have to say that 5 times just to finish the map, because this is actually very difficult for the offense. It's
absolutely correct. Yeah, 5 is a bit.
Come true. Tap your heels. Get to point B.
I think you're thinking of a different. You're thinking of a movie specifically, but
yeah.
Walking back in. That's a really old movie too. I don't know that Overwatch players would. What? Shocheng, hello.
Anyway, Flag Gaming on the defense, Sombra, Bastion, I'm ready, and they got the Brig and an Ana for some CC, or at least some anti-dive to it. Is LGE gonna bring that out?
Yeah, they're going full on dive here against this. Why am I blanking on the Bastion? Oh my goodness. We've just rarely see this hero, man. It's such a rare occurrence. Like I genuinely mean that.
Our last series, or the other one.
You don't even remember which series? Oh my goodness.
The Volskaya one. Sorry.
Yeah. You're right.
Sombra Genji though on this attack is going to be solid, but they have to deal with the Brig. So if Feng Mian can stun the Genji or any of one of those, yeah, tons of damage going in, and an anti to slam on top of that. Flag Gaming do survive.
A really good anti from Piley, who I think this has been his strongest hero, right? His Zen has looked fantastic, but his Ana has been game-changing. And we see why there, 65%. He's going to keep his team up and hits a good anti-nade, and that sort of forces LGE away from the point. Another anti-nade there. Kami has to be very, very careful. So here we're going to set up again. Kami needs to find some final blows with Genji. If you're not getting in and out and finding that blade, you're just kind of not doing your job as Genji as he dashes through yet again. Another set dive. And walking in close. Another anti-nade.
Showchang gets so low as his Bastion, they just can't finish.
Yeah.
LGE could just rotate towards the point maybe and see if they can just tough it out there. But yeah, they absolutely need to dislodge it. And the Somber Genji Blade is going to be big. EMP plus Blade is the death of the Bastion, Melons, and the rest of the team. That's all LGE we're waiting for.
Piley still somehow gets an exit kill on his way out, so, you know, he's saying, yes, please. That was an EMP Nano Blade. So they dumped 3 ultimates into that fight. You better hope they win, because otherwise it's a waste of resources here.
Oh, wait, no.
Nah, he's switching, so, you know, there's no reason to not. There's no, you get a little whistle in spawn.
Though. I get really scared when I hear it.
Yeah, it can get value, but, you know, we knew that he was going to switch. Flag Gaming. Bastion not nearly as good on the second point. There's not really ways for him to rotate, and it's easier for the offense to get into him. But the one thing is, Snowball is unlikely here because of how many ultimates LGE had to use on their attack run, right? So, Flag holding for the moment.
Playing a Tracer into a Brig on a Sombra is a little concerning. I'm a concerned citizen here for Showchang, giving the Nano down the Melon, see if he can carry the team. Dislodging LGE from the high ground, who now use JMac with the Primal to just mess up the healers and the backline. But for the moment, LGE start to stabilize on the point, but they lost their main healer of Molly on the Ana. You only have Lucio and Brig, who's going to use the barrier, see if they can out-sustain Flag Gaming, who are just running out of numbers.
Yeah, Showchang actually a really good Tracer play there, avoids the hack multiple times, and pulls enough aggro away from both the Sombra and the Lucio. And there he goes in for the kill. a little shy tactical crouch there, you know what it is. And he comes in, he's putting on a show on this Tracer.
Oh my goodness, LGE, they couldn't even get a take. I thought they were at least going to get one after that. It seemed like a really good start of the fight.
I mean, they're going to kill Melons here, and that's Hager going to have the EMP, of course, but Showchang has done very well on this Tracer, so even in the face of Kami's Brigitte, so that's really interesting that they're finding value. Showchang continues to find value on a hero not really played that often anymore. Now, EvilX has the EMP, and they're going to set up when the engage comes in. Lingon is sitting up as a group here. EvilX could very easily set them for an absolute 5-man EMP here.
Oh, and he has...
Oh, he got stunned!
Okay! He almost got stunned. Bit of a panic one. LG still are in pain. They also got antied from Philly, so this is a hard fight. They're still going to take it, though. They're still going to invest the EMP from Hager, chasing down Showchang, who is away from the rest of the team. They did get the hack onto Yaoshi. They're going to give Philly's Nano, and Flag Gaming actually stabilizing.
Yeah, JMac can get 1 kill with that Nano boost, but it probably won't be enough here. As EvilX, you know, kind of comes in. The remake comes in time. That's very, very dangerous there. Yaoshi gonna get away with his life. They're buying more time here, Lemon. But JMac has just not died yet.
Winston versus Brig. Who's going to win in a wrestling ring? Okay, the Primal Rage will win, clearly, as he makes sure nobody from spawn can move. And this is so how long this fight took, and LG are still not in full control.
Yeah, but they're buying time, right? And even though they're probably going to lose it, this is Assault, so if you can get one more pick off, and that is going to be the Winston, you can hold here. Fangyan on the Brigitte, staying alive for the moment, as Lensa gets slept, so no sound barrier available this time, Lemon. This will be a hold, and on top of that, no ticks given by Flag Gaming here on the second point.
That's actually insane how they denied the ticks. It's been a fight that never ends. We've only seen 2 solid fights from LGE where they actually have number control. It'd be like 3 versus 3 on the point maybe eventually, and Flag Gaming respawn. The closer respawn is definitely favoring them, of course.
Yeah, and Flag are actually going to see now that Lingon are going to switch over to the 1-2-3, the Somber Goats variation here. They're going to stick with the Tracer, though, from Showchang. No Zarya available, so this is an interesting look. Piley does have the Nano Boost expected on Melons here to try and build up that Primal Rage.
And hacking Yaoshi is going to be a good farm, and Fengmian's like, you shall not pass. Meanwhile, EMP drop from EvilX. Pilly's going to give the Nano to Melons, cleaning up the backline of LGE. And this is just heads-up play, but at least LGE in the coming fight should have an advantage. Yeah,
again, time being bought off the clock. They don't give up a tick. This is really, really good play from Flag. Now below that 2-minute mark, and this is where where you're in awkward territory. You want to try and capture the point with, you know, approximately that 2 minutes, because if you have to set up for a second run of attack, right, you want that large variation in time bank, as Haker going to set up for this EMP. Now this has to be if they lose this fight, they're going to be heading into overtime capture territory. So this is a fight they absolutely have to win here now. Lingon do.
And they have the tools. EMP self-destruct at the ready. Flag Gaming starts the barrier early. There's the EMP from Haker looking to finish off Flag Gaming. They need to work together, and nice. But now Lingon, they do miss their Zenyatta. They have to use the barrier. They need to get this number advantage quick, but Shochang is just a pain in their butt. Lingon should get their first take here, but Flag Gaming are just not giving it up.
No, not giving up, and they're going to get below the 1 minute mark here. They actually will not be able to capture with more than a minute. Lingon losing timeout here. They likely will cap the point, but again, time bank has been severely against them this entire time.
So the first take will go through. Less than a minute left, and Flag Gaming are just shaving time off this clock. Clearly the number disadvantage as reinforcements coming back for LGE. The nano is given to Melons as Pilly drops to his death, and that is Melons cleaning up. As soon as this guy gets nano, he pops off.
Yeah, again, they still haven't fully cleaned up here, but here comes that self-destruct, so they have to play very cautiously. Transcendence committed right away as well. In a way, they would rather not have it. EMP now right after it. Lingon trying to win it out here, but Lemon, they just can't seem to fully finish it out.
They can never finish. They seem like they have the number advantage. They're 6 versus 2. They only have to clean up. And meanwhile, almost a second tick got snuck through. Flag Gaming need to deny this one. They bring the Mei to do exactly that. Shochang gets another stick, and EvilX and Shochang are out. So the main DPS, the main damage dealers of Flag Gaming are out. LGE looking to finish this one off. What a self-destruct from Piggy. And this is how they finish, but it is in overtime, so there is a silver lining for Flag Gaming.
Flag Gaming with the stall of the season. This is absolutely the best stall we've seen out from any team here in Chinese Contenders Season 1 2019, because they take a 2-minute plus time bank in one fight and prevent a full minute capture from LGE. Flag Gaming takes to overtime, but they do it off of one fight alone. And now, if you're LGE, now you're in a really awkward position, because if Flag completes the map with more than a minute remaining, you don't get a second chance at attacking. So Flag have an opportunity to set themselves a win condition right off the bat.
And we said how difficult point B was, but there's definitely a lack of mental control and maybe focus fire from LGE, that they have these number advantages. They have the ultimate numbers over Flag Gaming, but they can't finish these fights. And that's where you might come in with a plan, but you need a plan B, C, D, E, F, G to actually execute on a point B assault.
Yeah, I want to highlight a specific player on Flag though, because one of the players that we talked about a ton last season was Coldest, a Zen player, a really good Zen player. But now I think there's a new superstar support in the making in Piley. He's done a fantastic job on the Ana. His Zen isn't bad either. It's not like, you know, his flex support is limited to one character like a lot of these flex supports are. His Ana, I think, is his best hero, and we kind of saw why there. Keeps his team alive with usage of the Bionade. Not only is the Biotic Grenade there used in terms of just defensive healing, but he often hits offensive Bionades simultaneously, so he gets 2-for-1 value, and that just puts so much pressure on the offense of LGE, and probably as a big reason why that fight goes on for that long. And so, yeah, no, shout out to the support there from Flag Gaming. Piley has been a fantastic player in this series so far.
What an interesting defense we're seeing from LGE. The Torbjorn, Sombra, Farah. What do you think of this?
I mean, this is something we've seen quite a bit as of late. The Torbjorn creates a crossfire with himself. The Farah is unusual. You usually see an Ashe or a Widowmaker, but the Torbjorn itself is that you can have a second damage source that is a lot tougher to take value out of it. So Flag gonna switch to dive now, but Fengyan already taking a ton of spam on the entryway. This is a tough place to be if you're the DPS. Where do you really engage? There's not, you know, the range damage from the Farah has the aerial capability, and so you know, Flag has to focus a target at some point.
And Flag Gaming do go for their dive.
Oh, a sleep there.
Shochang
is dead.
Shochang. A nice pounce on after that. As even if Flag Gaming get a pick, there's also the res potential, because Lingon are running a Mercy. So they have to not only execute a fight, but they have to clean it too.
The other thing too that's really tough is diving into Torbjorn is basically impossible, because the Torbjorn has the overload, right? He has the ability to give himself more health and output more damage, so you can't really dive the Torbjorn when he has that up. And so Flag just has to choose a target, and none of the targets are good choices. And meanwhile, Haker's in the backline farming this EMP.
A bit of a back cap also from Flag Gaming, as Pilly did get hacked at the start. Someone did deny the back cap going on, but Flag Gaming a bit stuck with how they want to deal with this.
It looked like Hager got greedy. I wonder if Piley slept him there, but Hager got very greedy. And now this could be the opening for Flag to walk in here.
there is the Nano. No blade from Shou Chang yet, but he's going for the finish. No main shield for the defense. And oh, the sleeps have been just on point today.
Bupali's been absolutely... I could watch this guy's POV all day. He's done a fantastic job on the Ana. Hits really hard shots, and that's going to open up the map for... open up the point, rather, for Flag Gaming. On top of that, they have the EMP blade available, so this next fight could be one where Flag just snowballs all the way through. Lingon, though, they have to have understood what the win conditions for Flag are, because now they have the EMP nano boost. If they can EMP and send in JMac with that nano, they could win out this fight. Otherwise, this could be a really tough situation for them if somehow EvilX finds a better EMP setup.
EMP blade from the attacking team. Can this be the finish? Lingon just have to play keep away. Because they're running on a Mercy, you don't have a Transcendence, you don't have a barrier to actually counter what's going to be coming. As LGE look to pull the trigger first, it seems. They've cornered Flag Gaming on their attacking run. On the bottom, there's a barrage. Oh, that's maybe not the best position he wanted to be in, but Flag Gaming actually have a kill advantage because of that barrage. Now they give the nano to Shou Chang, holds on to the blade, looking for the Mercy, just wants to finish her off without the blade, and there he comes at the very end, dives into the sky, finds the Mercy, goes for more blood. And Flag Gaming in a great position to take point B.
Yeah, but that was not very clean, and still stall opportunities here now, but Shou Chang gets the right-click combo off onto the Pilot Diva, and this now 2 ticks and counting here, Lemon. Self-destruct on the point, the shield gets hacked out. Flag, they have all the time in the world here. It looks like they will full cap this map.
Absolutely, and with time too, 4 minutes and 28 or 29, that is a severe time bank.
Not only that,
I don't
remember, LGE had no time when they captured. So now, Flag has, what, almost 5 minutes to take 1/3 of point A?
It can be done. We've seen Bastions, we've seen Torbjorns. The only thing we haven't seen, I think, is the Symmetra at this point. Anything
I mean, here's the question, right? Because we're now in a situation where this is one of the oddest places in Overwatch. You're an assault, you're on first point defense, you have a ton of time to play against, and you could only give up 1/3 of a point. Now here's where we often see the crazy compositions come out, right? The Symmetras, as you mentioned, the Widows and the Bastions and Torbjorns and so on. So I wonder here if LG is going to go to the cheese composition to try and bleed time off the clock, because Flag just needs one good fight to win out this map and bring this possibly, bring the series back into their control, right? You don't want to, if they win out here, then you can get into that 4th map and try and go for, the last fight win. So the expectation now is from LGE, what are they going to do to bleed time off the time bank? Because they have to play clinical Overwatch for a long period of time on a map that really doesn't favor their apparent setup.
I mean, we've seen Torbjorn, I think Shou Chang played the Bastion, so it's got to be maybe a bunker setup that does it, although I don't remember the bunker setup on the last defense lasting too long. They can find the right position, find the right execution. It is doable. 4 minutes and 20. Lingon ready on their defense with a Torbjorn, Pharah, Sombra, just like last time.
And what's going to happen here is Flag is going to send EvilX to the point, because again, that first third, you can't give up a tick here. So the fact is, you have to go and contest the Sombra when she goes to point. Otherwise, you just lose. You actually just lose. That's a really awkward place to be. So Lingon has to be very cognizant of that as they set up here.
As it's several minutes, you also have to survive a wave of EMP Blade. Can you even do that? Oh my god, they catch these Mercy, that's a hero, and Flag Gaming. Now
that's really greedy. Yeah, that's really greedy from Flag. They know what their win condition is. They cannot stagger out for long. I would like to see, you need to come coming in with a couple of good directs, but here what you have to do is you have to sort of set up EvilX to pull everyone off the high ground, and it's a really awkward place to be. Also, now we kind of see Fengyan kind of set up here, trying to find, the Mercy coming in with the pocket, trying to keep the Genji alive. Flag, they're searching everywhere for EvilX, but he's just kind of not in the fight right now, and Haker has done so much more damage. Look at that, he already has the EMP. This could be another chance to get 1 ult win, which Lingon's going to need a lot of here if they want to close out this map.
And do they expect it to be coming? They find Pilly early. That's not a great start at all, but they do invest the EMP, so Flag Gaming can at least not worry about that once they work towards the EMP Blade, hopefully in the next fight.
Yeah, Pilly gets resurrected there. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but does it really make a difference? So they're going to reset here, will flag, and they're walking back in. Now, Lingon continue to build up to those ultimates. They have the barrage, they're going to have the nano boost, and they have the Valkyrie flag. Have been very slow to get their ultimates online. And now you need to, here finally we're seeing the Sombra pull the Diva off the high ground.
Getting ready for the EMP blade with the nano. Don't want to go in yet, maybe without your mercy, and your supports are just getting pummeled. You need to peel for them, especially against this Pharah.
Yeah, they do finally get the kill on Fire, and there's no way to resurrect it because it's in the back line here. So, again, this scrappiness is turning back in Flag's favor because they cannot... Remember, scrappiness means that you don't get to play the composition you want. You're forced to use resources you don't want to. And for Lingon, that is the death sentence. They don't have the resources to be able to do that. And now this EMP Blade is online. The Flag is probably going to dump all their ultimates here in to try and find a point, like that first tick on the point.
And you want to use this EMP blade, well, I hope it hopes to catch Piggy because he could self-destruct to kind of zone off the blade. That's another way you can use that ultimate. But down to a minute 40-something, LG have done a great job defending so far.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to whether this EMP is good. It all comes down to this.
All down to this. Show Chang in the backline trying to deal with the supports. The sleep misses, but the job is already done dealing with LGE. 33% is all Flag Gaming need to stay alive in the series. LGE up 2-0. They tried to use some ultimates, not able to stay alive much longer. There you have it. Flag Gaming taking the map.
And with that, LGE lose their perfect map record here in Season 1 2019. I mean, they lost it when they weren't able to take the time bank, so that the draw would have lost it for them anyway. But here now, they take their first map loss of the season. And Flag, as you mentioned, back in this series, we could see now here in map 4, LGE going to have to go hard if they want to keep this one from falling into a map 5.
Well, let's bring back our expert analyst, Panda, Horizon Lunar Colony. Flag Gaming clap back. What'd you think?
I think it's just, again, just good Overwatch coming through from Flag Gaming. You can definitely see where the coaching and the veteranship of all these players are coming through. To acknowledge both times against whether it was the Torbjorn defense or the Farmers C defense with Orisa and Diva the second time coming out of LGE.Huya it's still recognizing your win condition. You had to get a tick, and even regardless of capping the first point, we'll get to that in a second, is what you're seeing out of Flag Gaming. They're just stacking their ultimates. They're finding success, and even if the EMP hits 3 and the Dragon Blade with the Nano Blade finds said 3 eliminations, you just get onto the point. All you need is man advantage for that first tick, and it's wonderfully played out. Now, for the first attack, it was all backed off of Feng Mian. Finding success on that first point without using a single ultimate outside of the Valkyrie, and then the immediate swap onto Lucio to set up that snowball was actually massive. And that was all because they got pushed to the brink and having to stack their ultimates. You can see here on your screen here a lot of Genji being played on Horizon Lunar Colony, and you can see why. The Nano Blade, the EMP, it's really good against a lot of different compositions, but I got to go back to what you highlighted too, LaFon. I think Show Chang put on an absolute clinic, playing Tracer on defense of Horizon Lunar Colony, of all places.
Yeah, it's rare to see it, but the fact that Show Chang actually, not only did he play Tracer, not only did he put a clinic on, he styled on kids, right? Yeah. He was looking cool while he did it. Sometimes you have these kind of like messy fights, but he looked very, very clean on the Tracer, coming in with the melee final blows. And Show Chang, I think he was missing some of that mojo, comes in at the very end to find the final blows and help them to the map win.
Yeah, the mojo was the nano boosts, and pulling out that blade was actually massive coming out from them all together. I think Show Chang is probably one of the more standouts coming from Horizon Lunar Colony. They're going to probably have to, they're going to need to take that and more heading into the 4th map here. If they want to try to force a map 5 against a dominant LGE.Huya, maybe they can take that tempo, maybe they can take that momentum against a dented LGE.Huya, taking their first map loss in Contenders Season 1 of 2019. And maybe push themselves into a map 5. Flag Gaming looked really good on Horizon, following up on EMPs continuously.
Well, of all teams, it was Flag Gaming that were going to do it. LGE were 8-0 in map count, and their first map loss was given by Flag. We're going to be heading into map 4 of Gibraltar. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Can Flag Gaming force the game 5? We're going to map 4 to find out on Gibraltar, where at least they stayed alive on Horizon Lunar Colony. Can they take this momentum and run with it?
I think they more than stayed alive on Horizon Lunar Colony. They were just straight up the better team on Horizon Lunar Colony, right? They controlled that map. And one of the longest stalls I've ever seen on an assault map in general. Flag doing a great job of just taking away time from LGE. But now we now had to escort, and that means watch point Gibraltar here between these two teams. So, you know, LGE, they kind of look shaky against the DPS comps that you know, Flag were willing to run. You know, Flag looking to run the Genji did pretty well. And, you know, if anything can be run here on this first point of Watchpoint Gibraltar, it is some DPS. But neither of these teams going there. Instead, they're going to do Somber Goats. Is Somber even really a DPS? Does she really count as DPS? I feel like she's a... I don't feel like she is a DPS.
Some damage that comes out of her at some point. But Flag Gaming just actually focusing on pushing the car in car wash and rotating their dive team on the underground, which is an interesting approach.
Should be curious. They gotta get to the high ground here. Flag, they're feeling it right now. Although Heurix picks up a kill, so maybe not that much. And now it looks like Flag are gonna have to force to reset here off the back of that early pickoff from Heurix.
Interesting rotation. At least they lost their Lucio, which maybe you don't necessarily need on the high ground. He'll be able to get back pretty quick though. They are wasting some time, but I mean LG is not gonna force them back. Also,
to note, Flag are using a full-on Goats comp, right? They're running the Winston Goats. EvilX finally off the Sombra. He's going to the Brigitte. This is an interesting play. We don't see a lot of Brigitte from EvilX in general, so very curious to see how he performs here. Heurix already nearly to that EMP. This could be a fight over before it even starts type of affair.
PkMnPanda's just not allowed to play the game. He's having a hard time. Flag Gaming get hit with the EMP. Everyone is hacked. Can't use the Transcendence quite yet. They are down their main tank. Piggy finishes off with a self-destruct kill. That fight is over.
Yeah, no, that absolutely is. It's a really good EMP. It actually saves J-Mac too, because he goes down before anyone else. And oh, are they gonna stall out the pilot? Yes, they are. Okay, this is one of the more brutal staggers, Lemon. As
Ouch.
we see Diva's passive come into effect.
We just get to watch. We can't even... There's not much to say about that.
Nope, true. Anyway, Lingon quietly winning a fight off with one ultimate now. They're gonna set up. They have the. They're gonna have the Primal Rage. They have the Transcendence. So, Flag Gaming walking into this. Shocheng has been so slow on this Graviton search. Hasn't been able to really find a way to enter. Another great boot back. Now Melon's caught out.
Oh wait, at least he had the Primal, so he saves himself there. I hope the rest of the team are ready, because Melons sure is. Makes a ton of room for this payload. Is gonna get stunned, has to be a little bit careful as it does dwindle away. LGE do have the support ultimate advantage as Flag Gaming catching up slightly. The barrier at the ready for Shocheng, and LGE are just up against the wall until the Graviton, now a self-destruct from Piggy. Transcendence from Pilly. Flag Gaming trying to push forward. They get EMP'd from Heurix, and now they're definitely feeling the pain. They've lost Melons, they lost PkMnPanda. This is another reset.
That's greedy from Shocheng. He tries to block the self-destruct while he's dealing damage in the grab. Instead, his bubble gets bursted, and the self-destruct is gonna absolutely destroy him through. Now Flag resources are not where they need it to be. And Kami picks up Xiaoxi. That's another late stagger here from LGE, and now this is going to be a really awkward place to put themselves in. On this, it's going to be curious. Shocheng switches over to the Genji, and you know, Heurix again pushes him out. So this is a time. I'm not sure what Flag can do here. The self-destruct has to somehow find maybe 2 kills, and that's going to have to be the entryway here for Flag.
And this is the last 35 seconds. This is the last chance, and there's some late swaps coming in. Yaoshi could have a big self-destruct, but the way LG are playing are just so kinds of split up right now. And they have to they're just taking their time. Billy gets caught out late, and that's not good at all.
Meanwhile, Kami does go down, so Flag a 1-for-1 trade here. This could be going back in Flag's favor. A couple of kills. J-Mac so close to going down here. Okay, well, it does go all the way down.
Primal.
Yeah, it looks like Flag are just going to straight up cap the point.
That's surprising. That was the last 30-second fight in desperation. J-Mac, if he would have just gotten that Primal off, maybe a different story.
Yeah, no, it could have. I mean, it's unlikely. I think he probably wouldn't have used the Primal even if he could have. Because, you know, they're down 3 or 4 players. They're not likely want to invest resources here. So, again, a new lease on life for Flag as they continue their walkway through. Shocheng so close to this Dragon Blade. He's probably going to walk through. EvilX, though, taken out before the fight starts. So unfortunate, and Flag likely going to have to reset here.
And LGE do have an EMP, and if they just stall this momentum for Flag Gaming, it's going to be really tough for them. This point B of Gibraltar is especially a part where if you don't take the snowball and run with it, it's just so hard to break out of this area.
Yeah, it can be. This is one of the hardest. This map, you know, this particular stage on this map is, as you mentioned, you either get snowballed through or you get full held. There's no in between. It's such a struggle of a point to get, especially if you get stalled out. So Lingon have a wealth of ultimates to work with here. The EMP most notable amongst them. Meanwhile, Flag has switched over to EvilX on the Sombra, so they're starting to build up. But 5 ultimates for Flag. If they dodge this EMP, this could be the opening they're looking for.
There's the EMP, but Pilly wasn't hit by it, using the Transcendence. Can he keep that Diva alive? Seems Yaoshi stayed in mech. Flag Gaming are just pushed up against a wall, though. It's very hard for them to break through. They have to use the Primal from Melons to create that space. Now they're investing the barrier, so LGE definitely going to step back, let that run out, and then probably engage with their own support ultimates.
Oh, right, Melons goes down. The self-destruct is not good enough. Doesn't finds J-Max, so tank for tank. And here now, the question is there follow-through on Flag's side? Because they're running out of time, less than a minute remaining here, Lemon. And Flag continue. The Shocheng has not had an opportunity to use this blade. He has been kind of just existing and not very well at that.
Well, maybe waiting for the EMP, but that's the last chance at this point. You got 33 seconds and less for Flag Gaming to push point B to get as far as they can and just survive and force the game 5. It's not going to be likely if you can't push very far. Shocheng with the blade. You do not want to go up against a Brig. That creates so many opportunities for the team to capitalize on you while you are stunned. Flag Gaming only have an EMP, but no team to follow up on it right now.
Oh, and now LGE actually has full advantage here. Defensive positioning, they have the EMP as well, and 7 seconds remaining. I don't think there's anyone who can even touch the cart here for Flag, and if they do, they are likely to be bursted up. Oh, a good hack there. But EvilX, there's no one to follow up here, and Flag walking to this fight already 5v6.
Nice EMP from LGE. Flag Gaming, though, they counter it with Pilly's Transcendence. This is Flag Gaming in desperation, and EvilX already has to go to the Doomfist, see if he can come back quicker, provide any sort of value for the team. But Yaoshi is separated from the rest of the team, and this is just lots of panic, lots of reactive type of plays from Flag Gaming who are just falling apart. That payload will just not advance any further, and LGE have a real chance of closing this out on their next attack.
Yeah, Flag do as much as they can, but it comes down to LGE being much cleaner in their execution in terms of ultimate usage. And so, you know, Flag, it's unfortunate, but they're going to have to put up a mighty defense here if they want to pull this to a map 5. LGE doing a very, very good showing on the Sombra. I think, you know, Haker comes in every time with the EMP. It hits a bunch of players and pulls, even if it doesn't get kills, what it does is it forces Flag to use a ton of ultimates. And that's even better, honestly. If you force the team to overreact, Flag has been kind of overreacting to the EMP, then you just find even more value and win out fights that way.
I mean, Flag Gaming, it took them so long to even get point A. The last 30 seconds, and then they had so little momentum going into point B when they lost the first 2 fights. And you had noticed that Shocheng held onto his blade for so long, and then he went after a Brig and got stunned and didn't get much value out of it. So Flag Gaming just looks so shaky after a win of Horizon Lunar Colony, which you thought they were going to be all hyped up after that.
I mean, the expectation is that you come in with the mental fortitude, right? You take the energy from a win, and a win that was very dominant, and you bring that into the next map. Unfortunately, LGE seemed to be incredibly professional. They let the map go. It's not a big deal. They reset, and they come back in here and have looked very, very strong. So I think here, that's a mark of a good team, though, right? It's a good mark of good players is when mentally it seems like it's all is lost. You just come back into like, yeah, we lost the map. We're still leading the series. It's all good. And come back in, and they look very, very dominant here on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
But LGE has had that issue, like, for example, on Horizon. Can they finish off their fights? Because that seemed to be the curse that Flag Gaming dealt with. So LGE still have the challenge of getting through point A, which was Flag Gaming's biggest issue on their attack.
Yeah, the other thing to note, too, is that Flag, in their last match against T1W, the map that they won was Volskaya. The Assault map seems to favor their style of gameplay a lot more against these stronger teams. So that could also be part of the whole mystique of it as well, right? But
and there's counter dives from both teams, but J-Mac got stunned by the Brig, who's really trying to protect their backline, so not a good start so far.
No, not at all. But it's time, right? Lingon Okay, well, not like that, Haker. He gets taken out. He gets found out and dealt with, and now this is the opportunity for Flag to push forward just a little bit, build up towards that ultimate charge, and try and find some value. Flag continuing to run that Winston Goats composition, that Winston 3-3, and Shochang has been kind of slow on the Graviton Surge, and this could be problematic walking in. 0 energy this entire time. His bubble timing has not been very good.
I think J-Mac needs a little bit more help on these dives. I'm not noticing, well, the Piggy follow him up on that, and he needs some heal if he's going to get stunned by this Brig every single time, but he's alive for the moment. Piggy is low, and they're trying to just dislodge Flag Gaming from this high ground, and doing so kind of unsuccessfully.
Pilly has been, dude, an absolute monster here on the Zen, too. Like, we talked his Ana up on Horizon Lunar Colony, but his Zen has been very fantastic as well. Oftentimes, when you think he's under pressure, he's really just in control of the situation. So, a really, really strong Zen play from Flag. And I'm not sure where they're finding all these good flex supports, but man, it's fun to watch. As another hold here for Flag, though the cart does move closer to that final point.
Yeah, it just takes that one fight, and then past point B, the yellow box of, or the green box of victory is right around the corner. And LGE launched the EMP, and there's a good transcendence from Pilly to counter this. This has been a star player that you have to keep your eye on. LGE creating space around the payload. They're meters away from capping. Self-destruct to zone them off. Doesn't get kills, but still, is he going to advise the Primal? It seems to be he does. Trying to create some space around the payload, and now the grab comes out from Shochang. He's 100 energy, trying to melt the faces off of LGE, who can just taste the end of point A. It's right in front of their faces, but it might not actually get done.
No, this has been a great tag in here from Flag. They do a great job of just cycling in and out the tanks off the payload. You know, each and every one of the players, each and every one of the tanks on Flag at one point in time touch the cart to contest. So you know that they've done a fantastic job. And Shochang, the Graviton Surge there was really, really well placed. And even though it didn't find any final blows, it forced so many resources out. But here, watching in that back half, they finally get back in the nick of time to stop the contest.
Barrier used from the offensive team, looking towards the EMP from Haker to open things up, but he has to catch Pilly because he has Transcendence. Melons with the Primal is kind of getting some trouble, and now he dives into the backline of LGE, who have to be careful, and their front line is just too low to engage off of this.
Yeah, no, now you have to hope that Haker can find a way to get this this EMP off, and that's going to have to be their win condition, because this is such a problem. Shochang keeps his team alive for the moment, and now LG are scrambling, 30 seconds remaining, and there's the opening frag that they might be looking for.
It's big. Now can they capitalize on this? Push further. They need to kill Shochang as soon as he gets back, because he's going to have grab. Yaoshi uses the self-destruct, and you can hack Shochang. That's great. That'll stop him. But the barrier actually sustains Flag Gaming for the moment. They haven't given this one up yet. LGE are struggling just as much as Flag Gaming are on their point A take. And who knows, but actually LGE do manage to get point A.
But now they only have 2.5 minutes, and the cart, though it does have to move halfway through the second point, it's not a lot of time, and Flag gonna switch up here. Evilx going over to the Sombra himself, and he's not that far behind Haker in terms of ult charge, because Haker, again, had to use the EMP to open up that first point. Flag, there is a real possibility for them to play it out on cart here with the Reinhardt to find value and prevent, LGE from going all the way through.
2 minutes. Can LGE get to that green box of victory? They just have to win one decisive fight, but Flag Gaming are so good at wasting time. This Transcendence from Pilly keeps this whole team topped up. The J-Max...
Wait, can anyone touch cart?
Oh! Can anyone touch? Are you serious? Flag Gaming?
No, that's not a letter number. That's legitimately a great play from J-Mac. The Primal Rage juggle into the corner means that no one, absolutely no one from Flag can get to the cart, and then you just walk it in. You literally walk it in. Unbelievable play there from the main tank, who has been quietly very good this series. And Flag, they lose map number 4, and LGE, they move on. They continue their sweep through 3-0 here at the beginning of the season.
Panda, what? Can you believe that letter number, or is J-Mac just an all-star?
It's not a letter number by any means. I think that's the one nature of Gibraltar. I mean, it's been Gibraltar even since Gibraltar had 4 capture points instead of the traditional 3. You know, that spawn room is so close that with high mobile abilities, especially with Primal Rage, you're going to keep them locked in there. You have 1,000 HP, and if there's nothing high damaging, even if Evilx gets that hack off, which I'm pretty sure he did, that's still a giant body you have to get through, and you can still primary fire when you're even hacked. So with those big scientific arms that Winston carries with him, yeah, he's just going to continuously push everybody back. Just a natural waltz of the payload into the golden checkbox of victory, and the Lucio, who ended up getting eliminated first, was unable to make it back in time. So, you know, it's just one of those things that it's just a heads up play, and that's what you almost expect, especially coming from LGE.Huya. They are that team coming through with a almost perfect record. They did end up dropping Assault, of course, but they have yet to drop a series.
That's good. They stay 3-0. They stay first in their group. Of course, that map loss, they don't get the medal, which I think is an achievement in Contenders to go undefeated. But congratulations. Any last thoughts? Any MVP choices for you guys?
It has to, yeah, go ahead, LaFon.
I don't think there's an MVP choice for me because I think too many players played really well. But I want to shout out Piley because I think he's come in here into a team that just lost a really strong flex support player, and against TFV looked kind of lost, not because he was mechanically outplayed, but simply because the team wasn't playing around him. I think that got fixed this game. Flag looking a lot stronger here, and to see another flex support come in and perform to such a high level, it's always a pleasure. So not an MVP per se, but certainly a standout player and one to watch in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that flex support play is pretty much always going to be set up, but if your team's always backing up, then that healing almost gets absolutely negated just off of, I suppose, unwant to drive forward. But I'm even going to give the big shout out over to the winner side, LG.Huya, Haker, big brain Sombra play. Always setting up his team for success time and time again. Those hacks, I mean, winning team fights off of EMPs again, and then having charge about 50 to 60% so far into the next one. Always something to look out for. And if Chinese Contenders hasn't been put on notice yet by this Sombra player, then I think this one is definitely going to put a more definitive notice.
Well, we've had some fantastic talent on display. Congratulations to TSL in their reverse sweep against BTRG, T1W for the 4-0 over Alter Ego, and LGE for the 3-1 finish over Flag Gaming. But there is more Overwatch coming, not Chinese Contenders. We have EU Open Division about to be live right as we go offline, so stick around for that. But if you're here for Chinese Contenders, we will be back tomorrow morning. 2 a.m. PST or 5 a.m. EST with GZA versus Team for Victory, Team CC versus Lucky Future, LGD versus Billy Gaming. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for some Chinese Contenders, or we'll see you a bit for some EU Open Division.